Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Radium and today I have another episode of my True Melee Deathmode Calamity playthrough. This is going to be very fun to start again. And I'd taken a small break because recording was kind of stressing me out. But, I'm ready to continue. All I really did in the time I wasn't recording was reforge my items all to warding for the maximum defense possible and grinded for some Lawai AFK unlimited buffs. This is mainly just so I can have unlimited regeneration. There's no other motive really to it yet. But yeah, it'll just help us overall. I have a couple of small things to clarify, by the way, before we really get into the video. The first one being that I'm struggling because Calamity Mod's Death Mode, or Vengeance Mode for that matter, have a limited damage reduction or defense cap. So if you get a certain amount of defense beyond that threshold, it won't count. This is to stop players from cheesing bosses. And so, no matter how much defense I have, in the end, bosses very far on will be able to do similar amounts of damage to me. This is obviously a problem since I need to be close to bosses, but I'll figure out a way around it. I also want to do the Desert Scourge another couple times, just to see whether this new loadout is really doing a lot. There we go, yep, this is doing so much more damage, oh my goodness. This is really good, as tanking bosses is going to be important, but... oh god. Yeah, I just need to figure out the best way of surviving. Regeneration honestly seems much more important than defense, as at some point I'm just not going to be able to tank, because I'll just need to take my time with the fights. And the main issues with that are time-related bosses, like the Mechanicals, even the Eye of Cthulhu and Skeletron. But I can take my time with the other bosses in this game, and just figure out how to dodge them properly, and how to stay alive until I regenerate my health. Okay, due to continued issues with just not being able to do bosses, I've decided I'm going to have to let myself use yo-yos this series. I'm really sorry, but everything is really easy apart from the bosses, which are borderline impossible with this kind of loot. As the first yo-yo I'm going to get, I think you can obviously enough predict what I'm going to go with. This is the Amazon, just because I really like the weapon and it's really powerful for early game. This weapon would have originally been really difficult to get, but thanks to the extra strength boosts we've been given, and the new Hermes boots, which is actually incredible, we should be able to deal with these enemies with relative ease. Right, chest time, and we get flower boots, more gravitation potions as well, so not terrible. Okay, we finally got the man-eater we needed, and after this boy, I think we're good to go. The vine drops somewhere. I think maybe around here, but once I find it, then we've got the resources to make the Amazon. Alright, here we go. Resources required have been gathered now, so if we just go in here, then we should be able to make this beautiful weapon. There we go, and it's 34 true melee damage. I think this should count, just as there's physically no way I can really make progress without it. Alright, let's go. With the new yo-yo, I'm going to get another upgrade. This is going to be the white string. I have the cobwebs. And to compensate for an accessory slot, I'm going to be crafting the lightning boots. Alright, there we go. We've got the Tinkerer's Workshop. And now with all of these items, we can first of all make the Spectre boots. If we take these two off, we can make a Sandstorm and a Balloon, a warding one as well. And then we can also make the lightning boots. So we're making some brilliant progress now. This accessory slot is now freed up as well. So I'm going to put the Cloud in the Bottle there just for a bit of extra protection. With the Amazon, there's no time like doing a difficult boss. So I'm going to figure out a boss to do. And I'm going to give it a go. We're still relatively weak because everything's warding and warding doesn't matter. But that's okay. We can work around it for sure. So, what I was actually thinking is going for an early Skeletron, just because it's a fun fight to do. And overall, we'll get some decent items from it. Okay, the Skeletron arena I'm going to be using is almost complete. It's a relatively simplistic design. And it's really a vertically oriented one because of the amount of vertical mobility I've been given throughout this series. Normally I wouldn't do an arena like this and make it more like, well, just even, but since I can do it like this, I am going to. Okay, the time has come for Skeletron. And I forgot he has 4 arms in this, oh god. And his AI is very different, oh my goodness, what? His AI is so different, what? Oh dear god, this is very strange and bizarre. I need to take out some of those hands, they act so weirdly now, what? And there we go. I'm going to be honest, I absolutely hate the changes Calamity have made. That I did it, and it was relatively easy once I got the hang of it, but that fight, even the Eye of Cthulhu and the King Slime, all of the AI changes are terrible in my opinion. I know that's a very, very strong stance on it, but I just don't like any of them. And in our first chest we got the Muramasa, which is one of the best items I could have really asked for. You know, it's very good for true melee. I don't know whether it's better than the Warblade, but it's got better range, I'll tell you that much. Fresh off the back of that victory, I think I'm going to try to take down the Perforators more, well, more intelligently, I guess, because that was a really dumb method I tried. And even though it's not necessarily as good as Molten, I would like to unlock Area Light. There might be some weapons I can craft. This may sound dumb, but I'm actually going to try fighting the Perforators underground, like in these little Crimson Chasms. I'm going to expand it, but this guarantees I'll always be able to land hits on the boss, because I was struggling with that on the surface, just because the way this world in particular is built. Right, here we go with the Brain of Cthulhu. This will be interesting to say the least. Alright, so we're off the screen. We've already got enemy spawns, which is fun, and oh Jesus. I think this looks relatively similar to how I remember the fight. The brain does seem to move a little bit faster, and those are much, much stronger and faster, okay. But luckily for us, we're very, very powerful in terms of our weaponry. So if I use the Flame Burst Short Sword, we should be able to take these out very, very quickly. One of the only reasons why this weapon's good is this kind of insane DPS in, like, these scenarios, I guess. Alright. Oh god, they do so much damage every single hit, and I've got so many debuffs. Maybe I should use the Amazon for a moment, just to recuperate, I guess. And it's a little bit safer of an option to use. Oh god, he's already really quick, that's crazy. And these enemies also have a lot of health, which is something to remember. Oh god. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. We're dead. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. This is fun. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Okay, the boss still suffers from knockback, but it's not as much as I recall. What the hell? He just kind of kept closing in. Oh no. Okay, so... Oh god. What? I forgot I didn't get Brain of Cthulhu, so this bit is actually a lot harder than I recall. He's very quick, but... Oh god. Oh, I'm dead. I'm so dead. Come on. Okay, 2.7% health. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Literally 2%. Literally like 1%. And there we go, okay. Again, a terrible AI change. I don't know why they changed all the AIs. I honestly find the new ones so much worse. And that's not even because they're difficult. I just genuinely prefer the old AIs. Well, we've got some Cromulent Blight Slimes, which means we can obtain Blighted Gel. And then we can look at fighting the Slime God, maybe. I'm going to give the Perforators another go, though. If this goes well, then I'll be very sick. But if it doesn't, I wouldn't be too surprised. This fight is really difficult. Okay, that was a very, very narrow victory, but we did actually manage to win that. Oh my goodness, that was actually one of the AIs I liked more, because it had a lot more variety, but most of these are still actually quite underwhelming, but at least that was a fun one to do. Okay, from the treasure bag, we got a heavy blood rusher, which does seem to be a true melee weapon. Let's see. Yeah, it is a true melee weapon. Then there's the vein burster, which I can't use. It's not true melee. And these are just weapons I can't use in general. But the bloody worm tooth actually looks very, very strong. Well, okay. I also got an upgrade to the swordfish called the sausage maker, which, you know, very interesting name. But apparently it sprays homing blood on hit, which is an interesting mechanic. Probably not what I'm going to use because I have the Amazon yo-yo. But it's still cool to have a bit more diversity in my loadout, and you know, it's got very good knockback, so it's going to have its uses. Okay, I'm very scared because the next boss I want to do is the Slime God. I know it's not the technical order we should be doing, but it's just a fight I really enjoy doing as well, so I'm just going to see if it goes well, and I'm honestly very nervous to see the AI changes for this fight, as it's widely regarded as the hardest boss in pre-hard mode for Calamity. Alright, it is time to try the Eye of Cthulhu again, just because I feel like I do want to do it, definitely. I accidentally just wasted some buff potions, but all is good. With this weapon, it should be a lot easier to deal with. And again, I'm sorry if you don't think yo-yos are fair, but I will not be using a single yo-yo that fires a projectile. Which definitely follows the theme of True Melee very well, I think. Yeah, this seems to be overall significantly easier. But there are still chances for me to screw up, so I do need to be careful. 45% HP. And I've just realised in this playthrough, I don't think I've used Adrenaline once yet, because these bosses are just so much harder than I recall. And ow, that did 100 damage in a single hit there. I forget how Deathmode Eye of Cthulhu works, but I'm glad that they've kind of changed it up. Because in my opinion, Deathmode Eye of Cthulhu was actually easier than Expert Mode Eye of Cthulhu. Which is crazy to think about, just because it didn't have any randomness to it. It was just 6 dashes, and then the sideways dash every single time. Like, that was it, a guaranteed choreographed attack. And, you know, that was kind of boring, actually, so I'd rather the fights be difficult. I'm not complaining about difficulty, just to, like, verify. I'm just complaining about some of the fights not being that enjoyable so far. And there we have it. That was easy enough, Jesus. And a meteorite landed simultaneously. But I'm happy now because we have access to an amazing item known as the Shield of Cthulhu. Something else I need to do, and something I've been preparing for a while, is make 2 Knight's weapons. What I mean by this is, first of all, we've got the Knight's Edge, 127 true melee damage apparently, which is, you know, insane. So this sword, it's also swinging in Calamity as well, so that's going to be just amazing. But we've also got the Knight's Stabber, which is just a little shiv. It is a true melee weapon, and it releases homing dark energy on death. So it does definitely have its uses. I've also got a very significant ability upgrade to get now. For those who don't know, you can craft shiny red balloons in Calamity, or it might be Luai AFK, but regardless of that, you can craft it using this mod pack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the bundle of balloons. A very, very powerful item. So what I need to do is Blizzard in a balloon, Cloud in a balloon, and there we go. So this is obviously going to be incredible mobility for us. And with all of this mobility combined, we've got a quadruple jump, a dash, and lightning boots. Right, I've done the tiniest bit more preparation, getting a platform builder from Luai AFK, and these span the entirety of the world, which is really nice. As well as that, we've got ourselves everything reforged perfectly, everything to menacing, the Amazon to the godly, and with this I'm feeling relatively confident about doing this now, so I really do hope we can do this fight. In truth, this fight is incredibly fun. I do really like the AI changes. They're very insignificant, but they are there. And this fight has always been one of my favourites, in truth. It's just really difficult, but it's a perfect mix of balance and power. Because you can beat this, you are recommended to use higher tier gear. But you can actually do it with pre-boss gear like I'm mostly using. Because the Molten Armor you can get before defeating a boss. The Amazon you can get before defeating a boss. And most of my accessories, apart from the Shield of Cthulhu, I think, also follow that trend. So this is, as I said, a really fun fight. The only issue of it is getting caught by the actual true slime god, as in the one that floats around and the one that isn't a giant slime. This is because he gives you this gravity destabilizer buff, which works similarly for vanilla players. It works similarly to the vortex pillar debuff, where you just can't really control your vertical mobility for a moment. But you know, it's okay. So, unless without that, like having to worry about that, then you don't need to worry about much because the other two are very temporary in terms of their debuffs. It's a temporary disability for your ability to use weapons, I guess. And then the other one weakens you temporarily, but they last for a matter of seconds, so it's not really anything to worry about. With that said, there's really not too much to say. I kind of just want to show this fight in its entirety, so I hope you all enjoy. And there we have it, boys. We did it. And oh my goodness, that was actually one of the best ones as well. It seems like they've ruined vanilla bosses, but most of the AI changes for the actual modded bosses are really good. So I'm glad to see that they still know what they're doing. In the treasure bag, we got nothing we can use, but the electrolyte gel pack is good. I don't even think, well, I don't know whether I'm going to make starter gel yet. It's something kind of hard to figure out. I do have the materials to make it right now, but I'm just going to have to check the benefits. As well as that, there is a gel-stick blade that I could craft, but the only issue is both of these aren't true melee. So unfortunately, it's looking like once again we're not making an upgrade. Okay, funny story, it turns out you need the solidifier to craft the static refiner, which is used to make these weapons. So what I'm going to do is fight the King Slime real quick. I'm really hoping we don't lose to this boss now, that would be surprisingly embarrassing. But you know, I very much like these changes they've given to the King Slime. He's just massive, and that's all there really is to it, and I like it. And yeah, this is very simplistic comparatively. I can just stay along the floor and yeah, with a yo-yo this is so much easier than I remember. We could have probably done this before in fact. But, I mean, I was just still trying to figure out whether I could use yo-yos. My dilemma is I don't think this game is possible without the usage of all the weapon types that are, like, potentially considered true melee, if you get what I mean. Because different weapons have different power variants, like different stages of the game. And as of now, yo-yos are one of the best things to have until, like, better swords come to fruition, I guess. And, ooh, okay, brilliant, we got the slimy saddle, which is always amazing for me. The solidifier means that we can craft the static refiner, and then we can make ourselves the statical armor right now. With that said, however, I think that's going to be where I end this video off. I've had a really fun time doing this one. Unfortunately, well, I don't mean that Calamity's bad, by the way, when I say that boss AIs are dumb. I just mean that I prefer their original designs. The mod is still incredible to play. It's just personal preference, really, and I just loved how the game was before, but I'm still really excited to play it again. And hopefully next time we can enter hard mode. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see all of you in the next one. Peace out, guys.